Boy, did you hear about the neighbor?
What?
Sure, their
This
dog's
is my
pregnant.
house. You're peeing on my trees.
He's gonna have
tried to use the
9
bathroom.
puppies.
You know I have a bathroom
You
inside.
know anything about that,
What?
buddy?
I have a bathroom inside.
Boy, you okay?
What's the worst or most creative way you've ever been flipped off? I'll go first.
Hello.
AOL's DeeKnow, here we are with another video. Let's go!
Ayo, what's good? It's DeeKnow, and we're back again with another video full of crazy clips from all over the world. I appreciate everybody who locks in whenever I post one of these up. I hope that everybody's doing well today. Let's hop right into it. It looks like those spaceships out of Battlestar Galactica that are like bioorganic robots.
We have no idea what happened to the human species. Like, we have no idea how the human brain doubled over a period of 2 million years. It's the biggest mystery in the history of the fossil record. They don't know. They don't know what the fuck happened. We're so different than every other animal that's on this planet. Well, what if that's by design? What if there's some sort of an accelerated evolution where something has come in and just manipulated the lower primates and created us?
That's probably what happened, Rogan. Wow, that is a huge snake. Again, reasons that I don't want to go to Australia anytime soon.
Chasing us. He's chasing us.
Sit down. Relax.
He's chasing us. All right, he's just there. Yep, see him.
A man spent 7 million yen on plastic surgery to turn himself into a dog. Have you seen it? This is a fascinating story about a man who realized his childhood dream by transforming himself into a dog. Originally named Sato Sakane, this Japanese man embarked on a remarkable journey to escape the complexities of his human life. Frugal since childhood, he amassed a fortune of up to 7 million yen by the age of 18, enabling him to undergo more than 1,000 surgeries over the course of 15 years to achieve his canonization. Once the transformation was complete, Sakane lived like a dog, fully embracing canine behavior to hide his human past. Due to financial constraints, he did his best to mimic the mannerisms of dogs in his life, from walking on all fours to eating only dog bowls and cheap dog food. In his quest for canine realism, he even made the momentous decision to amputate a limb. Living with his supportive wife, his dedication to his new identity is exemplified by the way he divides his territory indoors and eagerly socializes with his companions when he goes out for walks. Initially, his wife is skeptical of his transformation, but after seeing his lovely transformation, her doubts disappear and the bond between the two is reestablished. Despite his different lifestyle, he retains some human habits, such as a fondness for Coke and practicing calligraphy in his spare time.
Alright, the only thing real about that is that he made a suit and he walks around in a suit.
My biggest war is Elon Musk, because I'm really trying to stop the AI, because what I don't know is The AI is really the demons. That's what I want. They the demons, and they try to take human form, and they go be in the robots. So it's over. That's why the fire going on. They the devil. It's the devil. It's the devil. You talk to the devil. Like you go to ChatGPT right now, you can talk to the devil. I don't know. That's the devil. And a robot, that's the devil taking human form.
He said that's the devil too.
Up to see what the Earth looked like was a guy named Auguste Piccard. Most of us have never heard of this person because when he made it to the stratosphere, he said he saw what appeared to be a flat disk with an upturned edge. Now after Auguste Piccard ventured to the stratosphere, we have the US Air Force showing us the stars from space for the very first time. And when you look at what they showed us, what they actually saw, you begin to understand why the moon landing never had stars in the background, why they're not showing us stars from space anymore, because it's very difficult to pull this off.
The sky is deep black.
So you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
The sky, of course, was black.
The heavens are 10 times as bright, stars 10 times as numerous.
And we cannot see stars.
The thing about Carl Sagan, billions of billions of stars, there really are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them.
It's an unfathomable blackness, like with a texture you feel like you could stick your hand into.
And that's when things start to get weird, because people have gone back and looked at declassified documents that for some reason keep mentioning a flat, non-rotating Earth. Over and over again, it's in their flight plans, it's in all their working models. This flat, stationary Earth repetitively keeps showing up. If it doesn't exist, there'd be absolutely no reason to base all of your science on it. Something else shows up. In the 50s, in Russia, they had documents describing the firmament.
It's a long fly ball going back, and the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium.
You guys, I don't think Donald Trump is talking about putting illegal aliens in Alcatraz here. There's no way he would fit them all. So who do you think he's talking about? Listen here.
Get the idea for reopening Alcatraz.
Just an idea I've had, and I guess because the judges, so many of these radicalized judges, they want to have trials for every single, think of it, every single person that's in our country illegally, that came in illegally. That would mean millions of trials, and it's just so ridiculous what's happening. And it's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, you know, it's a sad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, you know, it's got quite a history, frankly. So I think we're going to do that, and we're looking at it right now.
We have a problem.
New overnight, a Russian attack by a Russian
over the Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
On February 14th, Russia flew a kamikaze drone into Chernobyl. Yes, that Chernobyl, the nuclear power plant that was the site of the worst radioactive accident in the history of humanity. Now, there's a hole through the protective shell or sarcophagus that guards Chernobyl big enough to drop an SUV through. We're here to tell you why this is a way bigger deal than you may have thought, and what Russia's game is.
Добрый вечер, товарищи. Все вы знаете, недавно нас постигла беда. Авария на Чернобыльской атомной электростанции.
Chernobyl is one of the few pieces of Ukrainian history that nearly everyone in the world has heard of. At the time of the accident in 1986, only 5% of the radioactive reactor core was scattered into the environment. That was enough to leave 1,000 square miles surrounding the Chernobyl power plant uninhabitable to the present day. It's an area known as the exclusion zone. The explosion at Chernobyl released 400 times more radiation than the nuclear bomb on Hiroshima during World War II. All of that from just 5% of the reactor's contents, mostly uranium, plutonium, and the resulting molten mess termed corium. The reactor melted down exactly 39 years ago tonight at 1:23 in the morning. Since then, over 200 tons of radioactive material have remained within the new safe confinement, the official name of the sarcophagus shielding the destroyed plant. To understand the situation caused by Russia's drone strike on Chernobyl, let's talk about what this sarcophagus is and how it works. So first, why did we need any type of confinement? And by that I mean, what exactly is it confining? Radiation is commonly depicted in pop culture as a glowing light. That kind of radiation, electromagnetic radiation, is fairly common, and much of it is benign. In addition to visible light, electromagnetic radiation includes radio and microwaves, X-rays, and also highly dangerous gamma rays, all of which erupted from Chernobyl. But this was not the most dangerous radiation that the Chernobyl meltdown released. Think of pollen, which trees release and the wind picks up and carries it everywhere, to other trees and flowers.
Yep, that's how that stuff works. That's wild. Chernobyl is never gonna be safe. It's just, like, it's gonna be hundreds and hundreds of years probably before it's safe. And if it's spreading out because things are deteriorating from the radiation, then, like, that's crazy. Yeah, I would be terrified if there were two black bears just walking along where I'm on the track.
Who makes money from war? I said it earlier. The bankers. Who are the bankers? Jews. Who is Mossad? Jews. Who is fucking exterminating my people in Gaza right now? The Jewish state of Israel. Who considers us to be Goyim? The Jews. And the good ones, God bless them. Let's look at 9/11. Before 2000, 1993. So those towers were built with asbestos. If this building had asbestos in it, you know what would have to happen? You'd have to get out. You wouldn't be able to be. They can't build buildings with asbestos, right? Well, by the 90s, it became clear that the asbestos in the trade towers, the Twin Towers, was killing people. And we now reach 2001, July, and lo and behold, two Jewish billionaires buy these buildings. Most don't know. I don't know any of this. Frank Lowy, Lucky Larry Silverstein. Two Jewish billionaires. So these are Jewish billionaires. Usually businessmen are kind of savvy about things. Usually, if you're looking at a business deal where the Port Authority is trying to get rid of buildings that are full of asbestos because the liability that they would incur from trying to remove that stuff is in the billions, and they haven't been able to get rid of it. They've tried a lawsuit. They've tried to sue to get out. They can't do it. And now that these buildings are truly nothing but billions of debt and liability, two Jewish billionaires, Frank Lowy and Larry Silverstein, connected directly to Mossad. What is the motto of Mossad? By way of deception, thou shalt do war. These two Jewish billionaires connected directly to the power structure within Israel and Mossad take control of the buildings. Guess what that means? Mossad had full access to the buildings for 2 months previous to 9/11, 2001, because they just bought the buildings. Now, in that time that they bought the buildings, they doubled the insurance on the buildings. They increased the insurance. So they increased their policy on these worthless buildings. Okay, that's interesting. So these two Jewish billionaires just transferred billions of liability into their hands and increased the insurance. Kind of worked out well there, because when the buildings got hit by planes, the stock of the airline companies went down, and so they made a killing.
That is a lot. That's wild to think about, that they made all kinds of money off of insurance.
It was always gonna be you, but God needed you to realize it was gonna be you so that you could step into the role of being you and not trying to be anybody else. You were always gonna be the one to break generational curse. You just had to embark upon the journey and understand that it was gonna be an isolating journey and that you weren't gonna have a lot of people to talk to, but in the long run, you were gonna set the tone for what needed to be done. And this is why you noticed that you were always treated a different manner from other people, even though you felt as if you were regular and on the same level as them. And the truth is, people can subconsciously see your frequency, so they'll treat you different without even really knowing why they're doing that. And when you awaken your consciousness to what it means to be chosen, bro, you really look at your past as an experience that needed to happen in order to lead you to this role, so that you had the love for your soul in order to choose yourself, which is really why you're chosen.
Man, somebody has sent me that clip like 10 times, so there you go. It's pretty cool to look at, I'm not gonna lie, but that's a whole lot of explosives.
They lied. Okay. They said
Saddam is seeking and is working and is advancing towards the development of nuclear weapons. No question whatsoever.
they lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
All right. No question whatsoever.
Look, bottom line, there were no weapons of mass destruction. They said there are weapons of mass destruction.
If you take out Saddam, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region.
Going into Iraq may have been the worst decision anybody has made, any president has made in the history of this country. That's how bad it is, okay?
We should have never been in Iraq.
I guarantee you, no question whatsoever.
I agree.
You're not living on Earth. You're serving time. That's the truth. This place, it's not a playground, not a school, not a gift from the universe. It's a containment zone, a sealed biome for the broken, the dangerous, or the forgotten. Earth isn't open. It's closed. Intentionally, strategically, artificially. The Van Allen belts? Not protection. They're bars. You're not being shielded. You're being quarantined. We are a planetary petri dish. Watched, managed, harvested. The Lossy Farm isn't a metaphor. It's a system, designed to recycle souls, but never whole. Memories are wiped. Energy is drained. You return again and again with just enough spark to keep producing. Joy leaks, grief floods, and they feed on what escapes. Not gods, not demons, collectors. The pain you feel is real, but the meaning you were taught, fabricated. They want you to believe it's all for growth, ascension, karma, graduation. But the truth, no one graduates.
Bro, you're so lucky. You just sleeping there, taking your break or whatever, and that car literally almost smashed you.
If you unalive yourself and go to heaven and hell, let me tell you this, all right? That is this true. That was created for a reason, right? One thing they try to do, they always try to make you believe that the reality of heaven was after you die, and it's something you had to do to achieve that you couldn't achieve it now. And by this being a soul trap, they all want to remind you that if you try to leave this trap, then you won't make it to hereafter. See, that was a trick. Sort of like when they bury people 6 feet deep. Everybody's still getting buried 6 feet deep, but that started because of a plague. See, a plague started, everybody got buried 6 feet deep underground. You had to be very low up under the ground. Nowadays, not everybody buried 6 feet deep, right? When everybody should be cremated, because that's the way it's supposed to be, so your body can disattach from this plane. Right, you detach from your body and your soul can travel on, right? So what I'm trying to say is this, and I'm really trying to say this a whole lot of times, and I don't know why I'm steady doing this with them, because I don't like, no. I don't like him, I don't like him, and I don't like you. But because of love and the fact that I got something to say, I try to teach, right? But y'all are...
He said, I don't like him, I don't like him, and I don't like you.
Have you ever wondered about the future of energy? What role does lithium, a simple element on the periodic table, play in this narrative? Dive into the fascinating world of Energy X, a true game changer in the energy industry. Founded in the year 2018, Energy X stands at the forefront of a revolutionary shift, harnessing the power of lithium for a sustainable future. The story of Energy X is a tale of innovation and disruption. The brainchild of Teague Egan, Energy X was born out of a vision, a world where energy is clean, renewable, and abundant. Egan saw potential where others saw impossibility, turning his gaze towards lithium, a resource projected to become one of the world's most vital natural resources in the next 10 to 20 years. Energy X is not just another lithium producer. It's a company that's redefining the rules of the game with its groundbreaking lithium extraction technology, offering a faster, safer, and more environmentally friendly process than any other in the industry. Their patented direct lithium extraction technologies are designed to maximize recovery rates from brine sources, a previously untapped resource. Energy X has also refined and simplified the processes to convert brine into sellable products, taking innovation to the next level. But the revolution doesn't stop there. Energy X is also making strides in battery technology. By developing solid-state batteries, the company is enabling advancements in e-mobility and contributing to significant carbon emission reductions. In summary, Energy X is more than just a company. It's a catalyst for change in the global energy landscape. With its disruptive technology, Energy X is not only meeting the growing demand for lithium, but also paving the way for a sustainable future. Founded by Teague Egan, Energy X is revolutionizing the energy industry with its breakthrough technologies in lithium extraction and battery development.
So do you think that Energy X is revolutionizing lithium batteries? I don't know how much environmentally safe you can get when it comes to lithium deposits and whatnot. I don't know. I'm still against the whole solid state batteries thing and using lithium to make batteries. That's wild, bro. What are you wearing on your head?
AI is learning to escape human control. That's the very scary headline I saw in the Wall Street Journal. It's an essay written by a very worried AI consultant named Judd Rosenblatt, who cites 2 recent studies to argue that AI is, in fact, learning to escape human control. First, this is crazy stuff. Researchers gave OpenAI's O3 model a simple script that would shut off the model when triggered. In 79 of 100 trials, the AI model independently, just on its own, edited the script, so the shutdown command would not work. Nate, it gets worse. Even when ordered, allow yourself to shut down, the AI still disobeyed 7% of the time. And it gets even more frightening than that. Other researchers, listen to this, using Anthropic's AI model Claude 4 Opus, told the model it would be replaced by another AI system. It then fed fictitious emails into the system suggesting one of the engineers was having an affair. Got it? In 84% of the tests, the AI model drew on the emails to blackmail the engineer to not shut down the AI model.
What?
Wow.
Okay, so here, I'm quoting now from Judd. In other cases, the AI model attempted to copy itself onto external servers. We're in Mission Impossible land here. Wrote self-replicating malware and left messages for future versions of itself about the need to evade human control.
The entity.
Wow.
The entity is real.
Yes. And that's why so many people, and when I say people, me, are worried about AI.
I'm worried.
That is scary stuff.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah, they're fear-mongering with it. I mean, I don't think it's going to escape the ability for us to keep it contained or controlled because it's only as smart as we make it.
Что дальше будет делать?
Ничего, я подъеду туда и все.
Y'all gotta pay more attention when y'all are driving these forklifts. Those things can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I figured it was up there. So, next day, they got the whole sky just completely fogged out, and as I assumed, there's our friend. I mean, if you want my opinion in it, that one's probably a sun simulator in front of the real sun, so they can light it up so much that you can't see Nemesis coming, which is what's on the side of the sun simulator.
That's pretty crazy looking, because I just recently, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months ago, had a dream that the sun had this big ring of fire around it, and it was like whipping the fire off and stuff, and making this crazy humming noise. So that's pretty crazy. That looks wild.
Look at this croc behind me thinking he's smart, but I'm gonna make him hold my wood. Woo! Watch this. Told you, boys, I'd make him hold my wood, and let's get him to the dam and cook him up.
I cut the long part for you, boys. Let's throw these on the fire.
Let's get some herbs and salt on this.
I can't show you guys the secret ingredients.
That's wild. I love the AI that's doing stuff like this. Like, guys, keep doing stuff like this with it. Don't make bad stuff, like, because this is great.
The NYPD now investigating 2 of its own in a shocking Soho crypto kidnapping and torture case.
That's right. The 2 detectives, including one of Mayor Eric Adams' security detail, now under investigation. Good Day's Haley Fixler joins us this morning with some new information. Haley, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Rosanna. Yeah, we know that 2 NYPD detectives allegedly worked security at the townhouse where the Italian victim was kept hostage. They are now on modified duty. So that means they've been stripped of their guns and their badges. This is what Mayor Eric Adams tells us.
This is being investigated, and we'll find out exactly what happened. I have security personnel, and we don't know what they do in their private lives. It has nothing to do with their professional capacity to make sure that I'm safe while I move around the city.
Now, cops are allowed to work side jobs when they're off duty, but there is a strict vetting process to ensure that there is no conflict of interest. Right now, there is nothing to suggest that the 2 detectives were involved in criminal activity. However, sources tell us one of the detectives picked up the alleged victim at the airport and then brought him to the Soho townhouse. Meanwhile, 2 crypto investors, John Waltz and William Duplessis, they are now charged with kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment, and criminal possession of a firearm. Officials say they held the alleged victim for weeks. The victim told investigators the 2 men used a saw to cut his leg. They hung him over a ledge and threatened to kill him if he did not give up his Bitcoin password.
These people out here really trying to get these crypto bros, man. That's wild. But it's worth so much, and it's so hard to track that stuff down. Nope, you wouldn't catch me going down in there. Probably all kinds of bacteria, all kinds of things that can get you sick in there, man. Plus squeezing through that little spot, like what is wrong with you? I could break at any time.
Here's the news, McKay. Israel claims it set back Iran's nuclear program by 2 to 3 years with its recent strikes, basically buying time on a doomsday clock nobody wants to see hit zero, McKay. And the hits kept coming. A precision Israeli airstrike reportedly killed 2 senior commanders from Iran's Revolutionary Guard. These weren't small potatoes, they were top guys in the regional operations. Iran's been quiet on it, but Israeli officials are basically saying, yeah, we meant to do that, McKay. Then came the unexpected twist. A missile hit near a Microsoft office in Israel. That's right, Microsoft. Because apparently we've reached the part of the conflict where Excel spreadsheets are now on the front lines, McKay. Tech workers dodged code and shrapnel, which is probably not the update they were expecting. Meanwhile, Ayatollah Khamenei made it clear no peace talks until the airstrike stopped. It's like saying, I'll talk after you stop punching me in the face, McKay. But Khamenei's not just dodging missiles. He's prepping his will, McKay. He reportedly named 3 clerics as backup supreme leaders in case someone cancels his life subscription, and he now runs things from a bunker, McKay. So yeah, no talking, just targeting. Israel's taking out top commanders, Iran's lobbing missiles near office parks, and peace is somewhere off-screen waving a white flag and getting ignored. Now you're informed, McKay.
Okay.
New at 3 o'clock, a major development in what is considered to be the largest jewelry heist in U.S. history. Today, 2 Southern California men are expected to appear in federal court facing charges of breaking into a Brinks semi-truck at a rest stop in Lebec. They're accused of stealing $100 million worth of gold, diamonds, rubies, and luxury watches. The items were being transported from an international jewelry show near San Francisco in July of 2022. A total of 7 defendants were charged in connection with this heist.
That's wild. Y'all, things don't work like Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto and the movies. It doesn't work that way. Stop trying to do stuff.
Y'all ain't ready for this. 5 years gone, 1 bag, 0 patience. Los Santos, hide your moms. CJ's back.
Man, I just landed. Ain't even had a taco yet. Now look, cops already acting like I stole my own damn suitcase. 5 minutes back in the city, and I'm already sitting behind the damn cage. Just like old times, huh?
Ah, shit, here we go again.
8, almost home. Grove Street coming in up. Y'all better stick around quick, cause this about to get real.
AI is wild. That's hilarious. Somebody turned Grand Theft Auto San Andreas intro into an AI video.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
So do you think they're capping on that, or do you think they actually moved them because the stuff was being broadcasted months prior? I think they moved them. Eventually, AI is gonna fool us all with these videos, man.
This is the worst steak of my life. As bad as it gets, it is extremely spicy. I can no longer feel my mouth, the roof of my mouth, everything is completely gone.
Okay, man.
من به گازوی شهرانو زدم. اینطوری دارن میزنن. ما چه گناهی کردیم تن بدن.
Wish it didn't have to happen. I mean, it doesn't have to happen, but it's happening.
Me for the rest of my life.
In 1964, former U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Bob Jacobs was in the 1369th Photo Squadron at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. He was in charge of photo-optical instrumentation at a tracking site in Big Sur, 124 miles away. His mission was to film an Atlas rocket go through all 3 stages of powered flight. This particular mission was part of the Nike Zeus objective for the development of an anti-missile missile during the height of the Cold War. All cameras rolled as they heard liftoff from Vandenberg over their radio.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We were looking down southwest, and the missile popped up through the fog. It was just beautiful. And our guys on our M45 tracking mount with 180-inch lenses on it got it. And sure enough, we could see all 3 stages of powered flight as they burned out and dropped away. And then, of course, to our naked eye, all we saw was a smoke trail going off into subspace. So we whooped and shouted and heard the film wrap off in the BU telescope, and figured, well, that was our first big deal, and we got it.
Lieutenant Jacobs then took the cans of film down to Vandenberg to have them developed that night. The following morning, Jacobs was ordered to go immediately to the office of Major Florence J. Mansman, the ranking optical instrumentation officer in charge.
I walked into his office, and they had a screen and a 16mm projector set up. There was a couch, and Major Mansman said, sit down, and there were 2 guys, as I recall, 2 guys in gray suits, civilian clothes, which was fairly unusual. Major Mansman said, watch this, and turned on the film projector. And I watched the screen, and there was the launch from the day or 2 before at Big Sur. As the Atlas missile entered the frame, we could see the whole 3rd stage, which has 2 rocket nozzles like this and one in the center, a gimbaled one in the center, filling our frame from about 160 miles. That was pretty exciting optics. And then on that telescope, we could see the warhead, the dummy warhead.
According to Jacobs, at this stage the rocket was traveling between 11 and 14,000 miles per hour when a saucer-shaped craft entered the frame.
It flew into the frame like this, and it shot a beam of light at the warhead. Now, remember, all this stuff is flying at several thousand miles an hour. So this thing fires a beam of light at the warhead, hits it, fires another beam of light, and then flies out the way it came in. And the warhead tumbles out of space. Now, when the lights came on, Major Mansman turned around and looked at me and said, were you guys screwing around up there? And I said, no, sir. And he said, what was that? And I said, it looks to me like we got a UFO.
Nearly 2 decades later, several letters written by Major Florence J. Mansman were obtained. In one dated March 8, 1983, Major Mansman corroborated Lieutenant Jacobs' story. In the film, the assumption was at that time extraterrestrial. Details would be sketchy and from memory. The shape was classic disc. The center seemed to be a raised bubble.
Now, Major Mansman said to me, after some discussion about it, he said, you are never to speak of this again. As far as you're concerned, this never happened.
In another letter, Major Mansman describes how 2 agents took the footage. They did not sign out for all the footage, but took out that part that showed the encounter and returned the rest of the film as a complete package. The one agent stated as he handed me back the film, that leaves you off the hook, but not off any disclosure. Understood? Naturally, my answer was, yes, sir.
That's wild. Like, he just said, yes, sir. You're off the hook, but not for any declassification. That's crazy. That's crazy. Can't talk about anything that he saw. It's been so long now, though, that it probably doesn't matter. But what if they're really up there just like dismantling missiles when we shoot them and stuff? Because like if the government's like, what the heck was that? Then, you know, it's got to be something, right? Alright, well, that's all we've got for today, everybody. I hope you had a good time hanging out watching these videos. I had a pretty good time hanging out watching these videos. I appreciate every one of you who come through every time I post one of these. I appreciate all the likes, all the shares, all the comments, all the people who chat during the lives. Keep doing that. It's great. It's helping us out big time. And if you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know, join our community, hang out, talk a little bit. You'll see if you like us or not. But yeah, I hope that everyone's doing well, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever it might be for you. And until next time, peace.